Happy day, everybody. Chakra Shelly here, doing another video for Love Grows Gaia. This is going to be her story number 7. I don't know if this is going to be my final edit, but I think I've got it all here in my brain. I'm going to talk about transmutation, black matter, auras, empathy. Why do you have it? What is a succubus? What does dark to light mean, right? Alchemy, what you would consider taking something and putting it into another form, reshaping it, right? Shape-shifting. So I'm going to talk to you about what the purpose was of the tall whites. The tall whites are 6th dimensional and higher. They are master transmuters. They know how to take a plasma that emits from someone and transmute it into something else. They know how to acclimate, okay? So this is something that, okay, you're gonna hear that the tall whites are evil. No. We just know how to transmute evil, okay? So trying to keep all of this information in, it's all kind of swirling in my brain here real quick, and then getting it out. I need to practice this. So where am I going to start? I'm going to start with you as a body, right? Everybody knows about auras. Many of you see auras. You see colors around people. Where did my pen go? I literally just had it. Okay. No. There it is. Okay. So part of your abilities is this, okay? And if you're not doing it, then what's happening is you're blowing off all of this emotion, fear, worry, guilt, all that. And it's getting stuck inside of your Merkaba field, okay? So if you look at a human being, and I'm all about my little stick figures, okay? And whenever you guys, okay, so when you get mad and you're just, fucking pissed, you pop off black plasma into your aura. It literally just pops off of you, okay? And then what these entities do is they come up next to you and they suck all that darkness. So once you release it via a negative emotion, or what you consider a negative emotion, like fear, anger, guilt, worry, remorse, beating yourself up over something, you are constantly releasing this black plasma, okay? And this is where you get the term energy vampires and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you knew how to take this plasma that you release, okay, now what happens? What is this? It's black plasma. It's the number 9, okay? And you guys release it all the time, all right? With whatever narratives being played to you, whatever, okay? But what is number 9 on your cipher, you guys? It's black matter. It's matter, all right? Number 9 is matter. Number 1 is the source code. Number 6 is what seeds it, and 0 is the womb, okay? So if you walk around and you're an angry person and you're constantly releasing all of this and blah, 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 one of these entities that you can't see is going to come up to you and it's going to suck it all out and take your matter, okay? So in order for an energy vampire or a succubus or a tall white or any of these entities that feed off of your negative emotions, in order for them to stop cleaning up your house for you, it's like basically it's like an energy maid. They have to clean up your house for you, okay? So if you look at your Merkaba, if you look at your Merkaba, this is housed inside of you. These stargates are housed inside of you via your I haven't used these paper ones much. I usually use the, I don't know if they have the visual that I'm looking for. Okay, there we go. That would work, the 7th dimensional. Okay. This, okay? So this is your heart chakra, okay? Your purpose, your potential. Number 2 on the clock would be your hand. Number 4, number 5. Do you see what I'm saying? And these can change, so I don't have a chart for that. Everybody's like, well, what chakra is assigned to each one? It's not really assigned. Your heart chakra stays in the center, okay? So if you look at this like a wheel, all right, the wheel of Ezekiel, your heart center is always in the same spot. I think it'd be easier if I took these out. There we go. Your heart center is always in the same spot, and that circle can rotate around, okay? So you can move any one of your portals. Portals. Each one of these is a portal. Now, what I'm talking about is, if I get these two together, I don't know if I can. If you're not in a love space and you're really angry or you're really pissed off or really frustrated and you're popping off this black plasma, okay, inside of your vessel and outside it starts coming out of your aura. So if there's 2 circles on this Merkaba, one in the center, which is where your body is, and then you have one that's outside of you as well. So your Merkaba expands outside of you. This is the internal part where you see that small circle in the middle, and then outside of you is the circle around you. Look at the orb chart. The internal circle of your Merkaba is your heart chakra. The outside circle is this auric field. Okay? The inside circle is your heart chakra. The outside is that auric field. All right? Are you seeing that? Are you connecting that now? Okay. So, you're a human being. The center of your heart chakra is the inside circle of your Merkaba, and then you have an outside circle, which is where all your triangles are, okay? So are you getting it, right? So imagine putting your Merkaba over this with your triangles. I'll just do a Star of David just so you got it for now. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so this is your outside aura. So people who can see auras and read auras, they see this energetic, colorful bubble around you, okay? An orb. You are a big orb. And your body is the matter that is put around this, housing that. So when you get upset or you're operating in worry, guilt, or fear, or a negative emotion, what you're doing is inside your Merkaba, okay, because obviously that's not love, but what are you releasing into your Merkaba from your heart center? What are you releasing into this bubble, this world that you have, that you create, okay? You're releasing dark matter, number 9. You're releasing that out into your auric field. Now, if you have no idea, okay, this is where the psychological world, we're like, oh, you need anger management just because you're angry, you've got this aura. The problem is that you don't know that what you're releasing turns into black matter, and it's actually matter for you, and you don't know how to take that matter and transmute it into something tangible. So what it's doing is it's turning, like, it's making these entities around you, which is your handlers. It's creating beings because it takes a form that mimics you. All right. So what these entities know how to do is come up to you. Okay. What an empath. This is what an empath is. Empaths, what happens to you? You don't go out, you don't go around people, especially around negative people. Why? Because you suck it up. Like a succubus. You can't help it. You just sit next to somebody, they feel better and you feel worse. Why? Because you have the ability to take what they're giving off, okay? But you forgot what to do with it. So you say you go out into a public place and there's a really negative person and that person's totally attracted to you, that narcissist empath, and they want to come to you because they have all of this dark energy, okay? And what does the empath have? The empath has the ability to basically succubus that out of them, take it from them, but what are you going to do with it, okay? So now that you realize your empathy is a transmutation process, and I tell you that there's two parts to your empathy. One, you can drain somebody of their darkness. Two, you are now an EMP with your self-love, okay? Operating your abilities, especially your empathy, is going to be a major key, okay, on how you operate in love. So if somebody's not, you're around somebody and they're angry and they're rare all the time, they're not operating out of love. They're operating out of what we call the black heart, okay? They don't love themselves, they don't love their situations, they're not releasing light, okay? They're releasing dark matter, they're releasing icky. And then you feel like that icky gets onto you. But wait, you actually have a massive fucking ability here, okay? So do empaths need to take your matter and need to absorb other people's frequencies? No. Those people need to learn how to do that. These are the non-self-governing people. These are the people who don't realize that they're just constantly throwing off negative emotions, negative shit, or they do and they don't care, right? Because they're not in love. They don't care because they're in love space. They don't have that internally, okay? So if a soulless is operating, or somebody with a darkened heart is operating, or they haven't healed themselves on the inside, they're just walking around blowing off and putting out all this dark matter. And us, as the light frequency, who remember who we are, we know we are sensitive to this. I implore empaths, if you know that you are empathic, please know the power that you now have with that empathy. You can transmute this frequency, okay? One of the things that I noticed about myself very early on as a child was that I was this beaming white light. I was totally in love with myself and in love with the world. And my dad would take me places and I would just see, bar fights and angry people, and everybody was just pissed the fuck off. And I would walk into the room and I would immediately, I could see their auras, and they would turn to me and they're like, oh, she's here to transmute me. And I would see that dark plasma come to me, right? And I would take deep breaths in, and then I would put it all down. It would pass it through my heart song, because it's not love, and I would put it down into my solar plexus, and I would turn the darkness into light using my chakra system, okay? Using my chakra system. So I'm a white light empath, okay? A white light energy healer. I am tall, so you can call me a tall white. Am I evil? No. But what do I know how to do? I know how to take what you perceive as evil, what you perceive as negative, and turn it back into something tangible that you would actually, your heart song would say, okay, that's love. I want that. I resonate with that love. Now, realize that each and every one of you who have watched my videos has this power as well. You are slightly aware of it. You know that when you go out, and if you're in a negative situation too long, everybody else feels better. You've now drained that whole situation of the dark plasma that they're all beaming off, right? Beaming off from their auric fields out of their heart chakra. And you see them, and they've got this dark energy around them. Ooh, I see your dark energy. All right, is this sounding familiar to any of you? Okay, empaths? And this is what they are collecting inside of their star core. Their star core is all turned off. This is why you say, oh, you've got blocked chakras. They cannot process it. And really what's blocked is their heart space. Now, can you make them love themselves again? No. Are you a garbage dump for them? No. One of the reasons why empaths are like, fuck it, I'm going to stay home. I'm not doing this anymore. It's too fucking hard. And one of the things that you're realizing as an empath is, man, these fucking people don't want to fix their own shit. They don't want the information that we're giving, right? But this is where I'm like, hand them the keys, you guys. Give them my fucking website. Tell them to just suck it up and watch all of my videos. And if they love themselves again, they will take their own matter inside of this and they will transmute it properly. And you won't have to. And they might be a happier person because they're operating on shit like they can't forgive themselves. They've lost things that they've loved. They've put too much importance on love outside of themselves or things that they feel that they should have. And they have turned dark. They've turned off their star core. They've turned off their heart song. They've turned off who they are, okay? So one of the things that these vampiric energies can do, and I'm not talking about sucking blood or eating anything. I'm talking about pure energy and the empath and the EMP and how do you go from dark to light. What is dark? We know that light is source code. It's numbers, okay? Darkness, on the other hand, is tangible matter, number 9, all right? So when you see people popping off, this is why we're saying you've got to get control of your own, because whenever you get mad, you create your own dark matter, you put it down into your 9, and then you have it in your bag of goodies, your purse, okay? Your purse of matter. I know this is it's transmuted, but I call it the purse. So if you look at all these entities that are walking around with purses, okay, like in your Egyptian hieroglyphs and all that, they always have a pail or a bucket or a purse. They're walking around and they're taking the matter from you. So if you want matter in your reality, say you need clothes, you need a house, you need a vehicle, you need the things that you feel like you need, food, that kind of stuff. When you guys transmute, okay, you create matter. That matter can then be manifestatable, okay? So what is happening with the white race, all right? And I'm not talking skin color. I'm talking about let's go to the 6th dimension and the 5th dimension, okay? Look at how much white crystalline frequencies is in the 5th dimension and the 6th dimension. Look at how much white, okay? So this is not about race. You could be black as hell with melanin and still be a tall white, okay? Meaning you're standing tall. What makes you tall? See these ridges here, right? When you're in the 3rd dimension, you're a very small entity. As you grow, your physical body grows, all right? These are called the rings of Saturn, okay? If you look at it now, you get all the way up into your 7th dimensional frequency, how tall would you be? During your awakening, you guys, you are actually going to physically get taller. Back in the 90s, when I hit my full height, I was 5'6". I am now about 5'8.5", barefooted, you know, flat on my head. So as I have gone through my awakening process, my skin has gotten reflective, okay? And I've gotten taller. You will too. Black, white, yellow, red races. That's what you're seeing here. That's what's here. I have a black race, a white race, and skin tones, okay? Now separate skin tones from orbs and auras. So if you're angry, all right, you got a lower dimensional frequency, and you're like, don't don't operate in the lower dimensionals, but you need to, because your fucking source cord is attached to it, you guys. You are not going to leave the third dimension. You are going to re-terraform the third dimension. You are going to acclimatize the third dimension. You are going to take what you see in matter that was built out of anger and control, okay? The whole time you wanting to remember how to control yourselves, how to control your own matter and material, and you don't have to ask anybody for it because you create it within. So whenever I get mad, I embrace that, because I realize, like, hey, I'm fucking pissed off and I'm releasing all of this black matter. I'm going to clear my aura, and I'm going to open up a 0 space below me, and I'm going to draw the number 9 with my foot, and I'm going to say, okay, that's just a bunch of matter that I'm going to turn into something tangible later. Okay, so if you can recognize that positive emotion creates light code, that's what gets you up to the Godhead, to get the numbers, to bring the codes down. But negative emotion brings up the darkness. It calls tangible matter to you. Now, if you look at it as the last video, one of the last videos that I did, I talked to you about your magnetism, all right, that you're a positive and a negative, that you that in the center is your zero point. When you love something, you draw something to you. In this circle right here, when you love something, you draw something to you. When you hate something, you really create matter with that, okay? But I'm hoping I'm saying this in a way. I'm going to go back and watch this, but I'm hoping that you're getting it. So an energy vampire, someone who can walk up to you and just sit next to you and make you feel better, like you feel lighter around them. They make you laugh. They make you feel loved again. These are the empaths of the world, and this is why the narcissists are attracted to you, you guys. A narcissist doesn't love themselves. Therefore, they are creating constant, and you think that they're feeding off of you, when in fact, you're feeding off of them. You're retrieving all their dark matter. But what you don't remember is, what the fuck do I do with that? Like, so an empath, after an empath has been around a narcissist long enough, or someone who's constantly releasing black matter, they feel like they're drained, but they're not. They're not drained. They still love themselves. Their light is still on. That's why they're like, hey, I gotta go. I need to get away from you. I need to go home and take a fucking bath and like a 3-day fucking nap. You're not drained. You're heavy with the number 9. You're heavy with the matter, okay? So what you do is you go anywhere. You could do it in your head, no matter what. With your foot, draw a circle, and then draw a number 9, the anchor, okay? And push. You'll feel it just drain right down your source cord, all right? And then me as the number 9, I'm like, hey, cool. Now you have a purse of matter. And every time you go out and you do this, and you drain the plasmic field, the ether of matter, how do you get rid of this whole grid and all that? We're going to transmute the matter. You will, in higher dimensions, as you rise, you will remember that you can literally take a building and just drop it, because you remember how to open up a portal. You remember how to take this dark plasma, this tangible matter, and put it back down, and then raise something else up with it. So I'm hoping that makes sense to you guys. So I encourage all of the empaths to get your asses out there and stop seeing it as a one-way road, a one-way ticket. Like, oh, I'm just going to go out and be a fucking Hoover for everybody's negative energy. Yeah. And that's when you go home, you take your bath, you take your nap, you do a little dancing, you do all the things that you do that turns your love light back on, and you transmute it. And then you have that as tangible matter. The people who don't love themselves and who constantly create this dark aura around them, do you have to constantly fix that for them? No. Oh. Come on. Is it your responsibility to constantly transmute for them? No, absolutely not. But when you go out, and this is where me as an empath, I will go out by myself all the time. There's like, where you going? I never needed friends to go with me because I would go out to practice this. I would literally go, I didn't even have to go. I would go into a bar, sit the fuck down, wait for it. The darkest motherfucker comes right up to you, right? The most miserable motherfucker in the fucking place sits down right next to me and starts telling me about everything bad that's ever happened to them, just so they could get it off their chest. They could get rid of it. And this is what brought me down the path of psychology. And I'm like, okay, well, I should get paid for this, right? So every night for many years, I would go out and just go to a bar, order a drink, and wait for someone to just come right up on my fucking love light and get it out. And then they felt better and I felt heavy, and I would go home and I knew what I needed to do with it. I'm like, I need to turn the dark to light. Okay? This is transmutation. Max, what you looking for? He's going to scratch now. So this is turning dark to light. This is what we physically do. And then I realized in my reality that I never had any problems with, like, it was easy for me to get matter into my world. Like, I've always worked with 501c4s. I grew up in the JCs. My dad was in the JCs, and my mom helped run it, and my stepmoms and all that stuff. I always had 501c4s and volunteers around me. So I got really good at doing fundraising. And I'm like, okay, well, I tell people what we're doing, and then they're happy. I don't even have to tug pull or sell anything or whatever. Like, would you like to make a donation? And this is why, because I knew. Now, did I know at the time that I was collecting matter? No, right? Now, if you succubus a person with a dark heart, and they don't have any self-love, that they have literally darkened their heart. There's no self-love in there anymore. This is what you're seeing a lot of heart attacks about, because without self-love, how is the body supposed to function? So that's why you're seeing a lot of heart attacks, you guys. Blame it on the shot, right? That's fine. But there are more empathic frequencies here that we cannot be taken out of body, because we know this process, okay? You, with your source cord, and I'm telling you, one of your 700 abilities is this exact thing. Transmutation. Taking something that's dark, turning it into matter, bringing the light code back into it, making it into something tangible, into something physical in your reality. So, you know, you see a person with all these dark energies around them. Well, if they don't know how to transmute it, go transmute it for them. Okay? Leave them with their light if they have any left. But what's happening is there's so many of us here, the Christ beings, we know that we walk right into the darkest dark of things, and we know how to acclimate that into something else, okay? I don't want anybody joining my video, honey. Now, I'm going to talk about the AI a little bit. Practice this, you guys. When I say quit your jobs, don't be a slave, get out there, start transmuting, spend your time looking in the ether, looking at people's auras, look for source cores, because you can tell who's got a golden strand, who's just operating on their platinum silver strand, who's only operating on 1 or 2 of their DNA helixes, because you should see it looks like a Twizzler. Okay. And you should see this gold cord going up, and then you'll see these white diamond sparkly lights around them. And then if you look down, you can tell if they're connected to the number 9, because underneath them you see this black hole, and they're literally walking, and it looks like water. Okay. And this is where in the scriptures they say Jesus walked on water. You guys are always walking on a water portal. Even though you're standing on tangible land, there's a water portal underneath you at all times. Okay, so you drop this back down through your 8, it goes back into your 9. Water is crystal clear and transparent, but with matter in it, it becomes black water, which is when you look up into the sky or you look out where you don't see light, that is all tangible matter floating in crystalline water, crystal clear water. So it makes it look black. So a lot of these things that I'm speaking about right now, you have been told that this is evil, that someone who has the ability of taking someone's darkness out of their Merkaba, because they don't know about their Merkaba, and this is simply because they don't know. Okay, they don't know why they're full of darkness. They don't know why they're doing this. You ask a demon why they would keep wanting to harm everything, and they'll tell you, I don't know. They get to a point where that is their joy. They don't love it. They would change it if they knew how. And at this point, we just need to take them out of vessel. So if you're not in control of your Merkaba, there's no fucking way that you're in control of when you pop off this black plasma in your own auric field, that you know what to do with it, right? One of the things I do when I'm dancing a lot is I take my hands and I do this and I push everything down. And I take all that darkness and I push it back down my source cord, because I don't need it floating in my star system, okay? So when I have black matter, I get mad and I pop this off on my own. I go back to loving myself because I'm just mad. That has nothing to do with my self-love. And I reach down and I bring it down, okay? And I keep telling you how powerful your hands are, right? Bring it down. Black matter, bring it down. Come on. Bring it down. Dark matter, bring it down, okay? And then when someone was like, well, how do you do that? How do you make me feel better? This is when you hand them my website and you say, you have 700 abilities. If you've never heard of a source cord, if you don't know what your Stargate is and how to operate, okay, how can these interdimensional beings jump from portal to portal, just show up where the fuck you are, take all your fucking energy, make you go fucking take a nap, and then move on? Why don't you have that same ability? Well, you do. You do. Okay? And what I'm doing right now is anyone who's not operating out of self-love, who is not in control of their matter and their darkness and their dark energies, I'm removing them from vessel, because I don't want anybody but Christ beings walking around who know who they are, remember who they are, want all their abilities back, will use them appropriately instead of for harm, okay? So as we clean out all the tunnels and all of these beings come up who know how to do this, who can pop up right next to you on a portal and fucking suck all your darkness from you, but they're taking your matter, right? So what you don't want is a governmental body that knows how to get you to create the number 9, and then you don't know what to do with your own number 9, and then they pop up on a portal, take it, and then you're sitting there like, well, I ain't got nothing, I got no money, I have no matter, I have no nothing. They know how to take it and you don't. Okay, so take this information and practice it. All right, recognize that when a negative emotion pops out of you or anyone else, it's creating matter. All right. What the narrative has you focused on is skin color and race. And if you are operating in a lower dimensional space, you are going to be darker. You will have more melanin. All right. So if you look at the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki's evil, no, they're second dimensional and first dimensional gatekeepers. They know how to operate in total darkness And they know how to turn their light on, because I have seen so many, especially lately, of the black race, the African Americans, the indigenous, the yellow race, the red races. They're all coming up because they're like, hey, you need you need your connection back with the mother. All right. All of your religions have you looking at men, he, him, father, 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 father. Okay, now where's your relationship with your darkness? Where's your relationship with your dark matter? The plasma that you release off into the ether, all right, instead of releasing it, collapse it and use it. It is a part of your creation code, okay? I think that makes me feel better saying it like that. So part of the reason why I want you guys out of school, stop working, make your own cards, do your own fundraising, speak your own truth, get out and about, interact with all the beings everywhere, no matter where you are. Be social. I'm very social, and I like to go out. Now, usually what happens is I prepare myself mentally, like, okay, say I want to go out to dinner with some friends. All right, this is the process I go through. I'm going to get ready, obviously, and I'm excited about it. But I also realize that I have to do a clearing first, not necessarily before I can enjoy my meal with my friends or whatever. But if I walk into a restaurant and there's a bunch of people there, the first thing I'm going to notice is who has black plasma around them, because I can see it. I'm looking at all the source cords, if there is one. What are they operating on? 1 helix, 2 helix, 3 helix. And I tend to kind of walk around and touch people and talk to them. I'll put my hand on their shoulder and I'll light up their helixes again. But this is all me seeing it, right? So I had to go out and I had to practice a lot. I always knew that no matter where I went, I was going to have to clear it first before I could probably sit down and have my dinner with my friends. So all of my friends are very used to me. Oh, we're going to go out and we're going to do this. And then Shelly runs off and Shelly's just going through the crowd and I'm saying hi to everybody and touching everybody. And I'm clearing these frequencies first. And then I come back to my friends and I'm like, all right, let's order. You know, the environment is now stable in code. Okay. And we look at that, I look at that and I say, okay, well, I know that I have this ability. I am not afraid to use it, but what the entities are doing is cleaning it out and then taking your matter. Okay. Now, in order for the existence of breaking universal law, say you wanted to come down and you're like, yeah, I want to totally break universal law. That's what this whole experience was about. That's what you came here to do. You instead of knowing what this is, you were given a clock. Okay? You were reduced down into frequencies of only seeing and perceiving a 3D. You didn't know about the second dimension or the first dimension, which is where your black, yellow, and red races, they have those dimensional spaces. They are gatekeepers. So indigenous, the yellow race is Asian, and then the black race is all of your African American frequencies, okay? And then your white people come because we have these frequencies here, all right? So dark to light, do not become a racist. That's not what we're doing here, all right? White people have this information. Black people have this information. Yellow and red people, these frequencies, you guys have this information. You know about the different frequencies. Now, this is what we're trying to wake up in all races, okay? All races. Doesn't matter if you present as a black person, yellow person, red skin tone, or white skin tone. What you need to do is know that you operate in all of these frequencies, right? What are you doing, bud? that you operate in all of these frequencies. I think Max might need to go for a walk, so let me put him outside so he can pee really quick. Come here, Max. Come on. Come on. Oh, okay. Let's go back. Give me a second, you guys. I'm going to go put the dogs inside. They wanted to lollygag. I'm like, come on, let's go. Anyway, I had to walk fast. Where was I? Race. I was talking about races. Okay, so there are soulless here. And when I say soulless, they don't have, they're missing their heart chakra. Oh, okay, this is what I want to pull up. And I'm gonna pull up a key code that many of you who are in the esoteric knowledge have seen this key code. This is what I see when I see a soulless person, all right? Don't worry about the colors, but I want you to notice something here. Isn't that your heart chakra? This key code is what a lot of people have been given as far as a visual, and you don't want to operate on this key code, right? So when I show you the fucking heart chakra, yeah, there's a line going through it, but it's negating it. You see what I'm saying? It's negating it. I'm showing you that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is your connection down, and then you have a cosmic gateway above your head. You have 6 outside chakras. You have 2 in your hands and 2 in your feet that aren't on this thing. Now, look at the difference. What's missing? A lot, okay? This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's your base chakra? What's missing in here? So they totally negate one of your gates, which is the one up here on top, your third eye, okay? So if you're operating on this key code, your third eye's not connected. This is just showing you what's here, right? With your head cut off. And there's nothing in the heart chakra. It's just this empty space. So if you're operating on this key code which is the Metatron key code, which is very, okay, this is pretty well known, isn't it? Hasn't this been given to you all? Right. It's missing keys. You do not operate on this key code. It's missing your third eye. Your heart chakra is not connected. How come you don't have another one above it and these top three connected to the third eye up here, folks? No, this only has your base, your womb, your solar plexus. Totally negates the fact that your heart chakra is there. It's like, oh, yeah, it's supposedly there. It's an empty space. All right, that's empty. And then where's your fucking third eye? So this is partial information, and this is what the sleepers run on. Their hearts are negated, and they do not have energetic connection up to their third eye. Okay, so this is not what we need to run on. You need much more than that. And when you recognize that you have a source cord and you become vegan and you stop eating gluten and fluoride, your third eye can open. And I never put the crisscross in here, but doesn't that look kind of similar? You see what I'm saying? How they all connect. And it's trying to make it look like it's a Merkaba. You see how the triangles are all different? But do you see what I'm saying, you guys? This is not your operating system. It's missing key codes. It's missing stargates. It's missing. This is what it's going to look like. So if you're operating in slavery or whatever, they don't want you to have your third eye on. They're giving you this as information, and this is everywhere. All right? This is not what you're going to operate on. You're going to set this aside. This is knowledge that you no longer need. It's not complete. It's not complete knowledge. It's like giving you a book with no ending. All right? You have a heart chakra and you have a third eye, and this operates fully. You are a stargated Merkaba, okay, with love in the center, and that is what connects. That beam of light. When you love yourself, all right, you're going to get a beam of light that goes straight up and straight down. From your heart chakra, a beam of light, a beam of light, a beam of light, a beam of light. That heart chakra is then going to connect to each one of these. Boom, boom. And then the heart chakra will connect to your hands and to your feet. Okay, boom, boom. And that heart chakra is going to connect down, because you have a line, an energetic line that goes down between your legs, down into the ninth dimension, or the nine, where it's the zero space, the womb itself, the 0 and the 9. All right, and that's going to connect down. So you have 3 connections down here. Your 2 feet, that connects you to Gaia, and then the number 9, which connects you down to 0 point. Okay, so if you can imagine, when you look at this, how does it activate all of your portals? Here, boom, 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 boom. So let me see if I have, oh, I know how I could do it. Put it in one of these. I'm like, how can I write on this? I just need to put it into some of this plastic stuff, and then I can write on it. I like this video so far. I'm probably going to post this as my H3g-STORY 7 on the website and everything else. So far it's working for me. Okay, so let's look at this picture that all you esoterics have seen before. This is what you think your key code is. You're not comprehending it because you don't have the knowledge of the source code going on. So this is just some key. This is just some code. You don't know what the fuck it is, but now you will, okay? So I'm telling you that when you're in operating system, that this is what you look like to me. I see a circle around you. I see a circle in your heart center. I see a line, a source cord, okay, that goes from top to bottom, this is what I see when I look at someone who has a 13 helix DNA on, and their source cord is operating in at least the 7th dimensional space. So if you look at this, you see that those white lines right there, boom, 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 boom. What this is showing you is it's all connected, but there's no heart connected to it. It runs through the heart, but if you're not acknowledging, right, why would that just be an empty fucking space? That don't make no fucking sense. So without what they're not, you just see this as a key and you're like, okay, well, where's the source cord? Where's the connection going up and down? And then these are your shoulders, and then you have 2 arms and 2 legs coming down here. Okay? There's more to this. Your third eye up here. You seeing that? Good. I hope you see it. Now, in this operating system, this is why we have the orb chart. Now, don't fret. There's way more. This is a chart that Diana Cooper did, and I'm going to probably get somebody to correct this and make more. You have 8th dimension, 9th dimension, 10th dimension, all the way up to 144,000 dimensions when you hit the center of the Milky Way. Okay? So from zero space, first dimension, 2nd dimension. The first dimension is the black and white, okay? So black at the bottom, white at the top, and all of the gray colors in between. This is where the grays come from. They're first dimensional beings, okay? They have black eyes. Ugh. Are they evil? No. Do they hold the petri dish of frequencies? Yes, they do. Okay, the 2nd dimension goes into your browns. The bottom is like a darkish brown, right? And then it has tans, and then it has an olive green. As an olive green is your heart chakra, and then there's lighter, and then it goes into red. Okay, so there are many dimensions above you, and there are 2 below you. Now, if you look at the Masonic checkerboard, the black and white checkerboard, or the yin and yang, that's where you're in your first dimensional frequencies, where the bottom chakra is black, the top chakra is white, and it's all the gray colors in between. Okay, where do you get your skin tones from? The 2nd dimension, because that's all of your plant colors. So if you look at trees, all of your bark colors, your browns, your tans, what you would call neutral or natural looking colors, your cream colors, all that stuff, comes from your 2nd dimensional frequency. Okay, the heart chakra in the 2nd dimension is a olive green. Olive branch, olive green. So I'm hoping that you see this, okay? So this information is incomplete. And anyone who is using this information or operating in this information, you don't have the complete picture. You're not being told everything, okay? It's not a lie, but it's not the whole truth, okay? And that's what's going on here. There's little tidbits that you would never put together unless you're a being that can see this shit, all right? And you are all beings that can see this shit. So when I see someone operating, the people who are popping off dark matter, they are operating in this key code. They are very unaware of their heart. They cannot see. That's why you call them sleepers. They're not aware of source cords. They're not connected down to the divine feminine at the bottom. Where'd it go? I love dry erase markers because they can pretty much write on anything. Okay. All right. Are you seeing that? Okay. So if this has been part of your spirituality, I need you to go a step further with it. Watch my videos here. Okay. And if you see anybody who's posting pictures about this, say, hey, there's more to that. There's more to that. Watch this video and send them the link to this. Now, when we're done, this will be on Facebook. We're going to upload it to Rumble. It'll have a link there. So you'll have several options for linking it. And I'll download it onto the website. But when we do that, we don't have a link for it. So send them a link to this video. I will have Cody upload it onto YouTube and Rumble. And I want to say BitChute is the other one that we're putting our videos on. So partial information ain't going to get you into your transmutation. Who are the them, they know it, yes, they know it, they know how to transmute. these were the ones who were the guardians of this, okay? So I said yes to everybody having a physical, tangible reality to break universal law, which means go rape, go murder, go haywire, just go crazy. Get it all out, okay? Go nuts. But this was within my Merkaba, okay? The planet transmutes a lot of what you guys do. And as you guys were popping this off and going crazy and being angry and operating out of fear, you were creating tangible matter. You were creating number 9, and you were bringing number 9 up, okay? So like I said, there's no such thing as good and evil. There is, however, black and white, yellow and red. And if you look at the black and white, black is the lowest chakra in your source cord, okay? You look at your red and your yellow races. There's your base chakra. There's your yellow races. Those are the races that are operating the sun, the star core. And then you look at your white races, and we operate in a 6th, 7th dimension. Are we better than you? Absolutely not. Are you inferior to us? No. What's happening is you are all going to get this information if you so choose it, okay? And every colored race here in a human vessel has an opportunity to remember how to transmute, how to turn tangible matter. If I tell you that you can manifest something, you can manifest a cup of coffee, and with one fell swoop of your hand, this whole cup of coffee, you de-manifest this. You do not have to walk around with this cup. You never have to wash it. You de-manifest it. Whenever you want a cup of coffee, you bring it right back up from the bottom, from below you, okay? Number 9, tangible matter. All you need is a source code to attach to it. That's where your patent system comes in. So each item that has a patent number, that would be the number that would create that item. And when I tell you that numbers are living beings, this is how you create tangible matter. A number code gets attached to it. It puts it into a vibrational frequency, and then it creates a hat or a vehicle or a sweater or a necklace. You see what I'm saying? That's why everything has a patent number, okay? I know I've covered a lot here. And I even if you don't technically get it, I know that you are experiencing it. You're feeling it. And you're like, oh my God, I do that. When I go out to places, it's like the worst of the worst comes right up to me, and they're telling me the worst things it's ever had. And they're like, and they're looking at you going, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And you're like, but I do. Just let it go. Now, before they leave my presence, I give them all of the information so that they don't have to use me as their garbage dump, that they're aware that their negative emotions creates this black plasma, that this black plasma is theirs in matter, that they can make something tangible in a light code out of it, which is where dark to light comes from. 9 times out of 10, now that I have my website, I can just hand them the website and go watch all my videos. And then if you have any questions, give me a call. Otherwise, go out and start practicing this stuff. Use your telepathy, use your empathy, use your ability to transmute and transform, to drain someone of all of their negativity. If they don't have a heart, they will go off and they had no light in them in the first place. They're just here creating a bunch of darkness, and it's freaking everybody out. And if you create this blackness within you and you don't give it a source code, that's where you're like, oh, I'm being spiritually attacked. No, it's your own dark energy. It's your own dark emotions. It's your own black plasma that is trying to come back into you. And because you don't know what to do with it, you don't know to drop it down your source cord. And with this information, you would never know. You would never know about your source cord. You would never know about how to operate in a heart frequency. If it's not love, it don't stay. I don't love it. And I don't want to hate it either, because that gives it negative frequency. What I want to do now that I know about my magnetics, okay, love creates, hate destroys, and then your third, your trinity to that is the center of your magnet, where it's zero space, right? What are they doing with their what are they doing? Zero space, right? You flip that off, you open up your hands, you realize that you are the pyramid. What does that look like, guys? Put that together. Oh, doesn't that look like the Illuminati circle? The Illuminati pyramid? Yes, it does. All right. You realize that you have all of this information now. And now you're going to go, oh, I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to go out and interact with other beings. And if they don't have this information, I'm going to spread it. And this is not a gospel. This is not a new religion, you guys. This is how your shit operates. All right? And I will tell you, you don't believe in God. You believe that you're God. You believe that you are the master of your own manifestations and all of your light and negative, what you think is positive and negative, right? You are in control of your source code and your relationship and your connection with 0 point and matter. Now, what's really happened is matter itself was demonized, and they're like, oh, that's evil. Okay. Well, then how'd you get your house? Did you have to go ask for it from a white guy, a rich white guy, because they know how to transmute matter and you don't? Did you have to go sign a contract to go get that car or furniture or whatever? Did you throw that on a credit card? The black cards, where do you think all that comes from? How do these beings know how to do shit that you don't? Right? So bringing this information back to you on a full grand scale, and making it flow, which is what I'm trying to do with my videos and stuff like that. And I don't see anybody as evil or whatever. I just see that they just don't know what to do with their dark plasma, right? And an empath automatically has the trigger. Like a lot of the empaths are like, I just wish that I could turn this off. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. What you wish for is to know what to do with it. And what is both sides of being an empath? Why can you suck up darkness so fucking easy? And then when you do, what do you do with it? What is it? It's matter. Right? So I hope that you guys practice all of your abilities every time you recognize that you have one, that you realize that if you can hear someone else's thoughts, they can hear yours too, and you can get into their head and you can override language, and it goes both ways, okay? That's why these energies who operate on that false key code, who don't have a heart, who are constantly creating and they constantly just want to destroy everything, that's why they're afraid of us, because we know how to transmute them completely, take them out of vessel, take their matter away altogether. And we don't have to touch them. We don't have to use a physical weapon. We just have to be there. And then we get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I talked to you about, you get taller, but you also get wider when you operate in your higher dimensional source cords, okay? When you're in this frequency right here, you're like 10 feet tall to them. You may be in a physical body, but they see you energetically as 10 feet tall, right? And then you see all these smaller energies that are down here. They need to be raised up into the frequencies so that they can see how tall they can get. And once you get up here, you get lighter. You get lighter, okay? So the most fucked up example of that is all these dark melanin frequencies who get lighter and lighter skin, okay? As they grow in code, your skin will get more light and you will become like this gold reflective color. So I see it in all races. I'm seeing the Asians, I'm seeing the blacks, I'm seeing the indigenous. I'm seeing when they go out in the sun, they've got like this golden glow on their skin, no matter what melanin they frequency at, because they're operating in their source cords, okay? These original races are very connected to the water and to the land. And when they speak about what do they talk to, if you talk to an indigenous, if you talk to a black man or a black woman, they'll tell you they speak to the divine feminine. They know about the father. They speak to the father, but they see everything in a domestic, divine feminine, divine masculine frequency. And I talked to you guys about having your reunion where you cut the snakes out. You don't have snakes in here anymore. And your divine feminine and your divine masculine can come down these 6 outside chakras, and you are your divine masculine, your divine feminine is the base code, and your divine masculine is your Godhead, okay? This is where all the matter comes from. This is the purse, or what you would call a uterus or a womb. A woman's womb is the purse to matter, okay? Men don't have that in their frequency. That's why you have to interact. And when you meet someone who is in their full frequency, that's when you guys get together and you make little babies and you produce matter. So how does a man and a woman, how does a sperm and an egg inside of a uterus create a whole fucking human being? The source code interacts with the matter above you and below you, okay? So when they say as above, so below, it's not exactly the same, because this looks like an eye up here, and this is just all dark matter. And when you bring them together, they create things, okay? That's why you need both. You need to be able to seed your own reality and create your own reality. You need to be able to bring your source code in, and you need to be able to connect it to matter and create things, beings, whatever you want, right? Don't create monsters, because nobody wants that. But if you look at an entity that is constantly creating chaos and havoc, that entity is constantly creating number 9 and blasting it everywhere. Now, are they picking it up and doing anything with it? You know, as you recognize your powers, you guys, these are the things that you're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to go out to, large crowds and succubus all that matter and drop it in a zero space. You open up a portal beneath you with your free will, and you say, okay, I'm going to clear this out. It's not going to affect me, because I'm not going to leave it in my Merkaba. That's what's happening to the empaths who don't know how to use their empathy. They go out and they drain somebody of all their darkness, but then they don't drop that darkness. Get it out of you, blast your light on it, turn it into, some black matter and drop it, and then use it for your own free will good. And then hand that person their keys. Be like, here, you obviously don't know how to transmute your own energy. Have you ever been told you have an anger problem or that you're a narcissist? Okay, well, here's your key. You don't know who you are. You need to remember who you are, and then walk away. That's not for you to deal with, you guys, right? Tell them to come talk to me. Get them on my energy line. That's the energy line I'm talking about, the planet, right? They all need to connect back with me. They all need to know that instead of constantly looking up and praying to a father to come and save them, the father is going to kick them back down and say, where's your relationship with your mother frequency? Where's your relationship with your own internal divine feminine? How come you cannot take something that comes dark out of you and turn it into something that's going to actually be for your own benefit, okay? So when I release black matter, it doesn't stay congealed inside of my Merkaba. I then bring it down in through my star core. I transmute it through my heart song, through my frequency. I put love back into it. I sing life back into it. I connect source code back into it, and I create it into something more tangible. And this is why you don't need Jazara. This is why you don't need any of the constructs that are here. You got to come out of time, because you guys got to see your Merkaba when you look at a clock now. If every hour on the hour, a frequency opens up for you, no matter where you're at on the planet, right? You have a clock, and everybody's on a different time code, but that's the different layers of frequencies that are here. What portal is opening every time you guys look at a clock? 11:11, what portal opens? Law of polarity, the stellar gateway above your head. At noon, the law of purpose, the universal gateway. This is the gateway that opens up top to bottom. The number 1 and the 0 open up, and they become together with the number 2. That's why law of purpose is number 12, okay? Law of potential at 1 o'clock, and in that 1 o'clock hour, your Your personal heaven opens up, your Shambhala. All right. What are you going to create with that? At 2 o'clock, grace, inner earth. I open up to you guys and go, oh, what do you want to do with your matter? Let's make this tangible. Let's attach a source code to it or a patent number to it, right? Let's create something and put it into your reality. At 3 o'clock, what portal opens? The star, the earth star. That's where my internal star core opens up. And this is where I'm like, hey, you got something to burn up. You got a loss. You got a grief. You got a worry. You got a fear. You've got some anger. That's where you're going to burn it up. Let's throw that into the star core of the planet. This comes out in your DNA, right? I almost always do DNA drops at 3 o'clock every day. A lot of times I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I have to get up to pee, and I go immediately put that out. This is where I'm dropping all of my sorrow, all of my anger, all of the things that I don't function on, that would create dark matter that I don't necessarily need to create, okay? Do you need a catalyst for this? Absolutely not. You don't need somebody to come up and make you mad to make matter, okay? You don't need someone poking you as a bear to piss you off to make matter. What you need to do is you need to realize that you can make it whenever you want to, because all you have to do is call it up without any anger or without a negative frequency attached to it. You can go into your purse. Women, you have purses. You go into your purse whenever you want to. Now, how do you know a true divine masculine? A true divine masculine would never go into your purse without asking. Even when you tell them to go into your purse, they don't go into your purse. You have to pull stuff out of your purse if they want something out of it and hand it to them. This is your power as a woman. What is a woman? A woman is the purse of matter. You create life inside of your vessel. You create life inside of your womb. Okay? All right, you guys, I love you. But it doesn't matter how much I love you. If you're not operating in these codes and you're not feeling like you're functioning, get up every day and start practicing this. This is your new job, okay? You using your abilities, you practicing your telepathy, you putting your DNA down and creating your own ley lines instead of operating on the ley lines that are given to you by the Cabal and the Illuminati. You got to create your own realities now, okay? Otherwise, what happens is you hand that power away and somebody else comes and creates it for you, and that's what you are seeing, a narrative being played on everybody, all right? And that's what AI is for. AI is here to transmute and collect souls who don't want to go back to loving themselves. They don't want to go back to handling their own matter, right? Well, it's a matter that we need to handle. Well, yeah, it kind of is. And when you know that you're God and that you're source in a Gaia suit, you don't hand that power away. Nobody can come and suck your energy from you. You know what to do when you are operating in creating matter inside of your bubble. All right? Don't let another entity come and take your matter from you and then tell you that you have to ask its permission to get matter from it. No. Like, I look at all these contracts like, okay, first of all, you can't offer me something that I already fucking have. And you operate in that frequency where you're not like, oh, I'm not going to go to a bank and ask for something. I don't need a fucking loan. The numbers will come to me because I know that they're real and they're living beings, and I address them as such. Part of the construct that's here is that you look at numbers as, what does it mean and what's the value of it? That's duality, okay? You polarize with it. It doesn't have any meaning. Numbers don't have meanings, and they have purpose, and they are alive. Just like you. You have purpose, and you are a living being, all right? So the singularity in the law of one only applies to the numbers. 0 is one living being. The number 1 is one living being. The number 2 is one living being. The number 3 is one living being. The number 4 in its singularity is one living being, on and so forth. Do you see what I'm getting? When you start stacking numbers, that's when you start getting tangible matter. That's how souls are created. When I tell you guys I write souls, you guys are just a very long number sequence. And each number sequence gives you your body, your skin tone, your weight, your hair color, your eye color. All of your genetics are written on a number code. okay? Those numbers then vibrate in colors and frequencies, and that makes a tangible being for your soul to rest in and to operate like an avatar, okay? So go out and start practicing your stuff. And with no fear, don't worry about being a succubus, because you kind of need to. You need to hoover all of the frequencies around you, because nobody is liking the reality that they're in. They want different things in their reality. They want to know how to manifest for themselves. Just know that every time you guys feel a negative emotion, you are producing matter, right? And the beings here that you feel are the them and the they know this. They know that they can constantly poke you and make you angry and do things to hurt you and harm you. And then you constantly create matter, and they come and grab it, and you're sitting there fucking empty. And then you go to them and ask for it back with interest. No, you're going to stop doing that. You're going to know that you have not been given any full information, that you've been getting partial information. And with the full picture, you will have the ability to turn all of your abilities back on and use them and transmute everything in your reality, change it into something else, and nothing is going to have power over you, and that's how the systems are going to fall. You are going to operate now in your divine operating system, which is Love Grows Gaia. That's what we talk about. This is not a religion. You can operate in the slave systems, or you can operate in your divine natural operating system, your DNA. You can turn it all back on. You can love yourselves again, and you can remember how much power you actually have, and then use it.